With the new ship being shown in the experimental branch of No Man's Sky for the expedition, it brings up a lot of questions on what it's going to do to the game. I'm Controlled Chaos, and in this video, I want to talk to you guys about that exactly. Let's get started. So, it is considered a racing ship. It's called the Starborn Runner, and you get it as a reward of completing parts of the expedition in the external branch. Hopefully it carries fully over into the regular branch, which would be great. And there's a lot of cool things in here. One, it's got those racing decals. It's got that sleek look of a racer, almost like a Formula One car. On top of that, there's even more. It handles and has really good maneuverability. It's got really high maneuverability, and it's from the start that has this when you get it. It has two S-Class modules for the thrusters, giving good maneuverability and things like that, which means it's designed to be a racer. It's designed to corner and turn really, really well. But there's something else hidden here that's of interest, and that is the scanner jammer that we can build and put on our ships for when we're doing smuggling. This ship naturally comes with it. And a lot of people may think, well, why does a racing ship need to have a scanner jammer? My thoughts is that the developers of No Man's Sky, when putting this together, they looked at it and they saw how in the US, stock car racing and NASCAR's origins are actually around moonshine running or bootlegging and happening of that, and them trying to sneak booze to underground bars and stuff like that during the Prohibition. And a lot of those drivers, when Prohibition ended and stock car racing and NASCAR got its start, those guys would become racers in those. And so with that link, I think No Man's Sky developers went, hey, it was an illegal activity. They're now doing it legally. Why don't we put the scanner jammer into this ship as an homage to that on the American side of things? And I think that's really, really smart. That's really cool idea. It's nice that they're looking at that, and it's a little hidden Easter egg, as you could call it, and them doing their research and things like that. But this ship overall is just cool because the fact that it doesn't have traditional landing gear. Its landing gear is a hover mode, and there's more animations and particle effects, and the way it hovers and sits there, it doesn't sit still. It bobs up and down, and that's really, really cool and nice looking. It adds to the sleekness and aerodynamics for one factor. You don't have to have those bays opening up to land. You don't have to have parts sticking out for the landing, which would cause drag. Now, does this affect the game? No, but it's just that one extra step that the developers are thinking in the way that a racer would think. Keep it sleek, keep it aerodynamic, minimalistic type of feel for airflow. And by doing that, taking out those parts that would have those little gaps that wind could catch in and stuff like that, and then also taking out the drag of the landing gear when they're coming out and going up, especially going up when you're taking off. You want to get that quick start. So for a racer, you want to get rid of the idea of landing gear and go with the idea of hover landing, and that hovers in that position, and that's really cool. But what could this Starborn Racer predict for the future of the game? I personally think that they could add in space racing. We have ground racing, we have those boosters, we have the finish lines and stuff like that, where we can create our own race courses on the ground on our bases. I know I'm going to be working on one for the theme park build that me and Xavier are doing in the live streams. And I think that they could create models and things that could do space-based race courses where you have these checkpoints that you need to go through and hit in certain order and sequence. And some of them could add boost effects. They could add other things like that. That'd be really interesting. They could do other models that would cause boost effects, objects that you could put in the way and stuff like that. You could plant them and look, here's an asteroid field. Okay, we'll put one at the beginning, one in the middle, maybe one at the end, or just one at the end, and you have to maneuver yourself around this asteroid field. And that would be very, very interesting, having to maneuver through stuff like that. They could do a bunch of other things, like maybe add in gravity pull to planets so that you could do a slingshot around a planet to gain a boost in speed when you're in these racing type spaceships. And that would be an interesting idea too. There's so many possibilities that they could add with racing in a solar system and maybe even beyond. Maybe it could link two solar systems together, so you have to use the warp drive also. Who knows what they're going to come up with? It's so many options. It's amazing. What would you guys like to see if they were to add space racing into this? Maybe even some atmosphere stuff that I just thought of while mentioning that to you guys. You know, it's that fun aspect of being creative, adding a possibility of another type of mini game or game mode in this game that already has so much to it. We can build, we can do combat, we can explore, we can do trading, we can do missions, and a bunch of other really cool stuff. So adding racing into this is really, really cool, especially with a lot of these games coming out nowadays that are adding racing into them. You have the Fortnite doing the racing, where it's taking Rocket League and doing Rocket League racing. You have Disney with their own racer that's going on. So they're just sort of hitting on that tone and catching up with everything else that's going on. And that's really, really nice. I like the idea that they're catching on to that. And there's still more to come, an unknown of what's going to happen with this update. Is it going to be just an expedition for this type of racer that we get? And is this going to be the only one? Because it's happened before in the past where you get just one style of ship. Look at the one that looks like a sort of the speeder thing from Star Wars that has sort of that snow speeder feel to it. We didn't see any more variations of that come out. So we may not see other variations. This is what I'm hoping we see other variations. That would be cool. It would be even cooler if there was a unique module that was on this ship that made it a bit different, just sort of like how we have on the Sentinel ships and how we have on the Solar Sail ships. Would be cool. But overall, a new ship is always a welcome thing in No Man's Sky. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please hit that like button and subscribe. Have a great day.